Hello and welcome to the Docking Bay 77 podcast YouTube channel. I am one of the hosts, Dayton Johnson. Joining me on this versus episode, we have one of the other hosts. It is the voice of reason, Amber Lewis. Hello, Amber.
Hello. This is, I think, one of my first music ones. I did like one other music one, I think, and
Yeah, this
that's
it's
it. This is
yeah,
not usually my vibe, so I'm
yeah.
excited.
I know, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
So, and that's okay because for this particular versus episode, we're stepping out of my comfort zone with a truly iconic country song performed by truly iconic two iconic performers. So before we get into that, for those who may not know, our versus episodes, what we do is we take an original song and we compare it to a cover version of a song. And there are lots of covers. In fact, we even did a top seven full length episode on top seven cover songs. Check that out in the regular stream. But this has been a fun journey so far. And in this particular episode, we are doing the song Jolene, covered by, or originally done by Dolly Parton, and covered by Olivia Newton-John. Now, going into this, I initially was going to do the Miley Cyrus cover, and after doing some research and realizing, because I knew the White Stripes had covered it and I knew some other people had done it, but I did not know Olivia Newton-John had covered it. And I saw that. I'm like, oh, maybe Amber would like to do this with me because I know she's a big fan of Olivia Newton-John.
Super fan.
So, so that I was like, so we pivoted to this version. So, with that being said, going into this, was this a shock that she even, because you even said in the chat that you didn't even know she covered this song. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming you were, this was a new one for you too.
Yeah. I had no idea. As a kid, I had her albums, but like I had like it was like a greatest hits album and the Xanadu soundtrack.
Right.
So and her greatest hits album didn't have it on it.
Right.
Didn't have Jolene on it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, we'll get to that actually where when that happened later. So I have some facts about that. So
oh, okay.
yeah.
So yeah, so I had like no idea at all. I
All
was
right.
shocked.
Fantastic.
But
Well, yeah.
like I guess I shouldn't have been because freaking everybody has covered this song. Like
Yes,
it
yes.
is so popular.
Yeah, and that's the thing. For me, I was familiar with the song because I mean, I don't think you could have listened to the radio in the 70s and even in the 80s without hearing this song. It was successful in the country stations, but it did have some um, pop uh, success as well. It did get onto the other radio stations, and so I had
But I
heard
will
it.
say you could avoid it because I did. The first time I heard it was Reba McEntire did it, and I
Okay,
didn't know it was a Dolly Parton song.
interesting. Okay,
And so I heard Reba do it, and then I don't know, I was a full-on adult before I knew that Dolly Parton wrote it and I ever heard her version.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Because
interesting.
like growing up in the 80s, like this, I don't know, Dolly Parton was like for everyone. It was like Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers had this 80s thing going where like they
Right,
were everywhere, but it was like 9 to 5 and Islands in the Stream and The Gambler. Like if you weren't into country, like you could still listen to them
hmm.
and not listen to country. And like we weren't really country family. Like that's not,
Yeah, I
my
wasn't. My
dad was
dad
listening
was,
to the
but
Rolling Stones.
yeah. Well, see, my
So
parents liked rock, but my dad, for some reason, kept trying to push us towards country. In fact, I think the first actual concert I was taken to, and I didn't get to choose, I was
right.
taken to see the Oak Ridge Boys when I was a little kid. So,
Yes.
but
See,
I'm
the
doing
only
much better
exposure
now.
I got to that was Hee Haw
Well, yes, I watched
and
Hee Haw because it was fun,
yeah, everybody watched that. And
right?
then like on variety shows and stuff, like on
Yeah,
Carol Burnett or the Sonny and Cher show or something, they
right,
would always have like country groups and
right.
stuff. But we just, you know, weren't those people. So I didn't get very deep into Dolly's catalog,
Okay,
until
okay.
like much later.
All right, interesting. All right. Well, speaking of Dolly's version, let's jump into some facts about this. Off the album of the same name, the single was released October 15th, 1973, almost 4 months prior to the release of the album. Of course, it was written by Dolly Parton and based on an actual event. A woman named Jolene was actually trying to steal her husband, and so she put the lyrics and the emotions all into the song. So, As I mentioned before, it was a very successful song for her. It reached number one on the Billboard U.S. Country Songs, number seven in the UK, actually, on their singles chart as well. And it finished the year at number six on the Billboard U.S. Hot Country Songs. It has been certified 3 times platinum, which is just kind of awesome. It was nominated for Best Female Country Vocal Performance Grammy twice. Once in 1975 for the original version we're discussing tonight, and once in 1976 for the live recording. It did not win either time, which is amazing. But in 2017, the a cappella group Pentatonics, John Williams, I know you love those.
Mm,
I'm not a fan.
yes, he
Whatever.
does.
I know he just. They did a cover of it with Dolly as a guest singer, and it did win the Grammy for Best Country Duo or Group Performance. Go figure. It has been it made its way onto multiple top 100 and 500 lists from different publications, including Rolling Stone magazine, Time magazine, Genius, Parade, Time Out, and the Tennessean, just to name a few. All
And
right.
I think Rolling Stone actually gave it an upgrade. Like they did one
Yes.
top songs list and it was at like 68 or something, and then they did it again and it like bumped
And
up
yeah,
quite a few spots.
yeah, there's some. It's like it like sometimes it goes different places where there's verses like a country on a country song list, and then in other times it's just songs in general from the
Yes.
70s or whatever. So yeah, it definitely it keeps making on, and for good reason, and for good reason. So it's actually been called by many as a perfect example of 70s country. It I as I've said many times, I am not a fan of most country music, but I can honestly say usually the country songs I do like are done by female artists. And I don't know why that is. I think part of it is I think most of the guys just have too much honky tonk in there, too much twang or whatever, and the female artists don't. But that all being said, I was familiar with the song, and I was actually really excited to discuss this because you have a country artist and you do have a very successful pop artist doing the same song. Um, so since you were relatively unfamiliar with both of these, I mean, obviously you heard the other one a long time ago.
Right.
Thoughts on the original from Dolly? Things you like about it, things you don't like. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Well, of course, for this podcast, like it's not a song I listen to a lot. There's others of hers that I like better.
Okay.
Um, but listening to it for this, I was surprised. It almost has like an English Renaissance Irish ballad kind of feel to it. Like I could
Interesting.
see somebody singing it at the Ren Fest with just like an acoustic guitar, and it just kind of, I don't know, it
Okay.
has that vibe for me.
Which I,
Um
I can tell because I mean, that's one of the things I love about it is that even though Dolly has such a great voice and we get to hear it very strongly, the production makes sure we hear all the different guitars in it. So
yes.
absolutely, I could hear somebody, a couple different guitar players sitting down there and doing a version of this. So yeah, I could hear that. I actually, and then I think it would probably fit pretty well onto on a Renaissance Festival stage. So
Well,
that's
and
an
like with
interesting
the
take.
violins that kind of come and go,
Right.
and
See, I
you
think they're
could,
probably fiddles. That's my guess. Or steel
oh,
guitar,
well,
steel guitar. So,
I don't know. It really sounded violin or fiddle to me,
which I think
but I
they're
see
in
what you're
that. Yeah,
saying.
yeah, they're in there too. I know. There's at
Hmm.
least three different people. Couple. I can't remember their names. A couple of different artists that did the guitars, and one of them was notated as doing steel guitar. But yes, I do hear the fiddle in there for sure. I mean, it fiddle. I mean, that makes sense. But violin, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
either way,
They're
you can
cousins. It's
hear them.
fine.
Yes, you can hear them.
And then the other thing I was thinking listening to it was, um, I remember in the 90s, the big thing was MTV Unplugged, and I
Yes.
loved that concert series
Right.
because I just love when you can strip down a song and it's just as amazing as it
Yes.
is, um, in the heavily produced album version. And I was thinking you could do this like with no instrumentals. It's such powerful storytelling, and the
Yes.
lyrics are so good that you could just like walk out on stage and just sing it and it would have a powerful effect.
Yes. Yes, and that's one of the things I do like about the song is that you are definitely getting a story. And um, one of the best things about this song is the emotion that you get in Dolly's voice. You can
Yes.
hear all the emotions. You can hear the frustration. You can hear her pleading. You can hear her just, the desperation in her voice comes through so much. And even though there's all those emotions there, she still sounds so wonderful while she's singing. And, she hits the notes. She just sounds great. And it's I think that's what's so powerful about the song is not only do you have such great vocals from her, but the production, they made sure that you heard all the guitars, that you could hear all the different instruments behind, and so much so that they made a point that when they're going into the chorus, the guitars actually get louder, kind of building towards that chorus. And I really think that's a nice touch. And they knew that the guitars were as important as the vocals, but the vocals still were front and center and not bearing anything. So it was a nice, well done combination. Like they made sure everything was here, everything was clear. But yes, to the point, obviously, Pentatonics did a cappella version, and it was the lyrics that made the difference. And yeah, it works both ways. Although part of me would love to hear it without the vocals, just to see how, just to see how if you can still get the emotion from the music, because I still think there's some emotion in the music as well. But and I like the arrangement too because we start off with the chorus, which was nice and it's a nice little touch. But the first verse is actually longer than the second, and we get almost all the story in that first verse, and I really do like that. It gives us time to hear it before we jump back into the chorus. So it's just there's a reason why this song is considered a classic because they just did everything right. They just did everything
Yes.
right on this version. So, but yeah, I'm still surprised you did not hear this until you were an adult.
No,
That's
I thought it was a Reba McEntire song because I heard it
interesting.
like that song in Fancy. Like I heard
Okay,
at the same time.
interesting. All
And so
right,
I just thought, they were kind of like two halves of the same coin kind of a thing.
gotcha, gotcha.
Um, the only thing I wish about the song is it's very short and it doesn't have a bridge. And I really like a good bridge. So, um,
Yeah,
I'm a Swiftie. I'm a sucker for a good bridge.
all
So,
right, yeah. And
I
it is,
wish like it was just you need like a little bit more, but what are you gonna add? Like it's perfect. Like what's
yeah.
missing?
Well, and sometimes it is nice, it's both a good and a bad thing. The song does get quickly to the point, and it is actually over very quickly, but there's a lot in that 2.5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Oh
There's a
yeah,
lot
like
in
I
there.
have a whole like music video story in my head where like she wakes up in the night and she hears her husband say his name and she
Right.
gets up and goes to write this song and like it's raining outside because the music kind of sounds like a storm and like I have this whole like imagery thing going. So and it's 2 minutes. Like in two
Right.
minutes you get enough to like do a whole movie in your head.
Yeah, and
So
that's amazing. That speaks to how good the song is that you're actually, you're picturing what's going on as you're listening
mhm.
to the song. So yeah, all right, fantastic.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's not the lyrics are not my vibe. Like
okay.
the Beyonce song, the Beyonce version that she rewrote, that
Yeah.
is my vibe. Like I'm not asking anyone not to take my man. He will not get took if he knows what's good for him. And come at me, you can try.
Right.
But
All right. I get you. I get
but
you.
yeah, so the fact that I can be so, invested in a song that like is not my personality at all, like that's really good
All
writing.
right. It still floors me, and I'm like thinking, okay, this is Dolly Parton, and she was somebody at this point. It wasn't like she was just this nobody. And I'm thinking, who is this chick, Jolene, that you are so worried about? I mean, you're friggin' Dolly Parton. I'm just like, she must have been, so much of a threat that she would even, I don't know. It
Well,
just
I
blows me
don't know
away.
a threat. I think it's just like the audacity that someone would try it. And
Yeah, I know. It just, to me, it's just like, but who? I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinking like, if her husband's actually gonna pick somebody else over her, then maybe you don't need the guy. But
right.
whatever,
But I
still,
mean,
you
Dolly's
know.
human just like the rest of us. And
I know, and that the vulnerability comes through, like I said, with her
Hmm.
performance. So I get it, and it's just it's an
Yeah.
emotional song, and it's really done very, very, very well.
Yes.
All right, okay, let's move on to the cover version. Olivia Newton-John, it was on her album "Come On Over" from 1976. It was released in select countries as a single, Japan and Australia. Would be a couple of them. I find it funny that it was not released as a single. It's like, why cover it? And then I don't know. Anyway, it became part of her 1982 40 city physical tour set list. That show actually did appear as a HBO concert special in 1983, and I remember that concert special. I watched it
I
quite a bit.
remember that. Yes. My parents taped it for me off of
Yeah,
HBO.
there you go. Now, in 2022, the song was included on the reissue of her first greatest hits collection. So that's why you didn't see it the first time because it was added. And then during the COVID-19 shutdown, her and Dolly recorded a duet that would appear on Olivia Newton-John's posthumous release, Just the Two of Us, the Duets Collection, Volume 1. All right. So let's get into this. Thoughts and opinions on the cover. Oh no! That face.
Okay. I love Olivia Newton-John. I wanted to be her. I cut my hair like her. I dressed like her. Like I love this woman. But holy Jesus, like what even it started and I was like, no, you're not. Just why?
Okay, you know what? I'm glad because I have a lot of notes and I'm like, she's gonna be so mad at me. She's gonna be
No,
so
no,
mad at
I
me.
was like crying real tears because Olivia Newton-John, like she did an album that was, I don't know if the whole album was country, but like it had a country kind of like one of her songs is a country song.
Right.
And I loved that song. It's very sad and um,
Well, most
you
country
know,
songs are. Let's be
yeah, like
honest.
it's I can't remember the title, but it's about like she's begging this guy like don't play this song on the jukebox because it was my man's song and it's ripping my heart out and he
Jeez.
left me and every time you play that song I'm sad and oh 10-year-old me was all about it. But but okay, so she can do it is my point. And
Yes.
like Hopelessly Devoted to You is like the saddest song and like she's just pouring her heart out and it's all the things. And then you listen to this cover, and it's it's here's what it is. It's a talented DJ in the 70s would have played this in the club because you can still do like the electric slide to it, but it's just something different.
Right?
And
Okay.
then like, a really good DJ could like meld it into the next song, but it is 100% like John Parr's hands are all over it. And it's just like this disco. There's this weird
Uh,
whooshing sound in the background. I don't know if we're like in a spaceship or what,
no,
but
yeah.
I was like, it started and I was crying. I was like, this is not the cover that she did. Oh my Lord.
Oh no. Okay. So we are the same mind. I completely blame the producer on this. Okay.
Yes, yes, this
So
was a choice.
yes, this was a choice, and I don't think Olivia Newton-John had any voice in this because she has a wonderful voice. And like you said, hopefully devoted. I mean, there's a lot of emotion in that song. This one, I kind of feel like our producer was just focusing on, hey, her voice is awesome. Let's make sure everybody knows her voice is awesome, and let's bring in all the pop sensibilities and the little bit of disco into this. And it's like they even extended the song. They extended the outro so she can
Hmm.
do a few more Jolenes and show,
Yeah,
yes, I can.
do the vocals
Yes.
and
And they even added some higher notes during the chorus, which I don't really like. They just don't fit.
no,
And
no.
there's like no emotion to her performance at all. And I'm just like, mm. Like there's just a lot missing. They took out the guitars that would swell right before the
Hmm.
chorus. They just, there's, I mean, it's not terrible on its own. Like in a vacuum, if you heard this song, you're like, okay, it's fine. But, but
But
by
knowing
comparison,
what
you're
it's
like,
supposed to be,
no, I
it's
know.
it's 100, but it fits 1976 so perfectly. Like this is 100% the way they would do it on the Donnie and Marie show. Like
And that's not saying a whole lot.
No, I mean, okay, I loved that show,
Yeah, well, I
but
did too,
seriously,
but
like what a mess.
yeah,
And I was two. I didn't know any better. Or like the Sonny and Cher show or something. Like it's
right.
like you've seen. There's a video of Cher doing. I can't remember what song, but she's doing it with the Jackson Five, and it is the whitest, like least soulful, like what I don't know what they did to the Jackson Five to like take the soul out of them, but it is so like Brady Bunch horrible.
Oh my
And
God.
this would fit in perfectly with that.
Yeah. Okay, good.
And I
I'm
don't
so
get it
glad.
because I like disco. Like Donna Summer had songs that would make you cry. Like,
Yeah.
it can happen. And I don't know what the hell this was.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But
Because like I
it's
said,
such a mess.
I started listening to the song and I'm like, oh, I think we're gonna fight because I was
No,
like,
because
nah. Okay,
I was expecting like hopelessly devoted to you. Like it starts with a twangy kind of electric
right,
guitar thing, and or that jukebox song, which is 100% like tears in my beer country,
right.
and then this disco thing started. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we kind of beat this song enough because yes, I mean
I know. I
there's
love her so much. I
yeah,
hate that. Like, I wasn't even like, well, I love Olivia, so I'll listen to it anyway. I was like, no.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, I think we both agree that the original is definitely better than this cover
Yes.
version. So, and it's funny because yeah, like I said, I blame the production. They just did
Yeah.
not. They had there was
I'd be
choices.
interested to hear, like, I need to go find the duet that she did with
Yeah,
Dolly
I want to hear
Parton
that. I haven't
and,
heard that too. I guess I need to go
or
check
like
that
the
out.
live version,
Yeah.
like, are they doing a disco in the live version? Like, maybe it's,
You know what? I don't even remember.
different.
It's funny. I think about that concert, and the only songs I truly remember from that concert are stuff that was in the Xanadu soundtrack and a couple of other ones. Like that's all I remember from that
Yeah.
concert. But then again, I was 12. That was like so many years ago. Just so I'm old. Okay.
I know.
So anyway, all right. Well, I guess we're both in agreement that the original is
Yes.
better. And part of me is thinking maybe we should have done the Miley Cyrus cover. Anyway,
I don't
just
know. Liam is a huge fan of the White Stripes version, and he has made
yes.
me listen to that one
Yeah, that's
a
good too.
lot, which
Yeah,
it's a
that is good
banger.
too. Yeah, it is good. And so and that's what's so funny. It's there are good covers of the song, obviously, but this it just seems like they just didn't know what they were doing when they tried. They were trying something and it just didn't work. And
Yeah.
that happens. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Well,
All
and
right.
like, I don't know if you listen to the rest of the album that it's on, like, does it fit with all the other songs? So
I
they
did not
didn't
listen to
want,
her album. No.
so, but that would make sense. Like,
Yeah,
if
it
all the
would.
songs kind of have that kind of same sound,
Right.
like this
They
would have
tried to
fit
make it
on the
fit.
Xanadu
Yeah.
soundtrack, to be honest.
Yeah, and that was her genre at the time. That's where she was, and so it makes sense that they tried to make that version of it, and that's
Yeah.
okay. You want to make it yours as much as you can without. I mean, there's been plenty of artists that take a song and completely redo it to make it fit to what they do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's what they tried for this time, and it did not work.
Yeah.
So, all that being said,
Yeah.
I will put links to both versions in the show notes, so check them out and let us know what you think. Let us know if we are 100% right or 100% wrong, or which way do you lean? It's fine either way. But I do want to thank Amber for stopping by and checking these two songs out with me. And it's
Yes, it
like
was fun.
I'm like, and she's like, I heard her Olivia Newton-John's version. I never have to hear it again. All
Yep.
right.
I'm done. I'm moving on.
Moving on. All right. And like I said, let us know what you think about these songs. Um, Also, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and comment on the videos so we can hear from you. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming top 7 videos. Amber, I, and Robert consistently do top 7s, and we're getting some more out of Disney John and trying to get some more out of Tim as well. And also more versus videos coming. We kind of alternate back and forth versus and top 7. So there should be a new video every Friday. and that's the plan. Also, check out some of the shorts I drop from time to time. Usually, the shorts tie into an upcoming episode as well. So, all kinds of fun stuff for you to check out. And as always, thank you for watching.